The cold hit him first. Captain Ryan Cole opened his eyes and saw only darkness and flickering red lights. His chest hurt with every breath. The smell of burnt metal filled the air. He tried to move, but something held him down. The seatbelt. He pressed the release button. It didn't work. Sparks fell from the ceiling of the escape pod. A warning alarm beeped again and again. He remembered the crash. His ship, the Horizon, attacked by something fast, something invisible. One moment they were mapping a new star route. The next they were falling through blue fire toward a frozen moon. Then nothing, now he was alone. Mayday. This is Captain Ryan Cole. His voice was weak. The radio crackled, but no one answered. His oxygen meter blinked red. 90 seconds left. He needed to get out. He pulled hard on the broken belt until it snapped. Pain shot through his shoulder, but he ignored it. The pod's door was jammed, but through the cracked window he could see pale light outside, the moon's icy surface. He kicked at the door once, twice, 3 times. The metal bent and gave way. Freezing air hit his face like knives. Ryan stepped out onto the white ground. The sky above was purple, filled with strange floating lights. His helmet scanner showed no life forms, only silence. He stumbled forward, leaving deep footprints in the snow. His leg burned. His suit was torn. He was losing blood fast. Then he saw it. Movement in the fog. Something tall, walking toward him. Not human. Its shape shimmered like light underwater. He raised his arm, trying to aim his emergency pistol, but his vision blurred. The figure came closer until he could see her face. She was beautiful in a strange way. Skin silver blue, eyes glowing soft blue like distant stars. Her hair floated slightly as if underwater. She wore a white uniform that shone faintly. "Stay still," she said softly. Her voice calm, smooth, almost musical. "You are hurt. Do not move." Ryan tried to speak. "Who are you?"
"I am a healer."
"Relax," she said, and reached out her hand. Her fingers glowed as they touched his chest. A warm wave spread through him, chasing away the cold and pain. His mind fought to stay awake, but the warmth made him dizzy. "Where am I?" he whispered. "Safe," she answered. For now, everything went black. When Ryan woke again, he was lying on a bed that seemed to float above the ground. The room glowed with soft blue light. Strange devices hummed quietly. The air smelled clean, like rain. He looked down and saw his wounds wrapped in thin silver bands that pulsed gently. The alien woman was there, watching him. She smiled when she saw him awake. "Your body was broken," she said. "We repaired most of it." He tried to sit up, but a sharp pain ran through his side. "Where am I? What are you?" "You are aboard an orange ship," she said. "We are healers, explorers. My name is Vera." Ryan looked around. The walls were curved, alive with slow-moving light. "You saved me?" She nodded slowly. "Yes, but your injuries were severe. Too severe for your kind's biology." He frowned. "What does that mean?" Vera placed her glowing hand on his chest again. "It means I had to do more than heal." As her fingers moved lower, he felt warmth again, but this time it was different. It spread deep inside him, through his blood, his bones. His heart raced. "What are you doing?" he asked. "Relax," she whispered. "I am stabilizing you." Her touch felt both soothing and frightening. Every second her hand stayed there, he felt less human. Lighter, stronger, almost floating. Then she stopped suddenly, her glowing eyes dimming. "It's enough. Sleep now." Ryan grabbed her wrist weakly. "Wait. What did you—" But before he could finish, she placed 2 fingers on his forehead. A wave of calm swept through him and his body went numb. Through half-open eyes, he saw 2 other Orin figures enter the room. They spoke in soft tones he couldn't understand. One looked worried and said something sharply to Vera. She answered, "He survived." "That means something," the other replied with a frown. Ryan caught one word: forbidden. His vision blurred again. The last thing he saw was Vera looking down at him, sadness in her eyes. "You were not supposed to survive," she whispered. The room faded away. The hum of alien machines became a distant echo. Ryan's heart slowed, his body floating between waking and sleep. Somewhere deep inside, something began to change, something he couldn't feel yet. And far above, the orange ship drifted quietly through the stars, carrying one human who should have died, and one alien nurse who had broken her laws to save him. But the real question was, why? A soft hum filled the air when Ryan Cole opened his eyes again. For a moment he thought he was still dreaming. The room glowed with moving light like waves underwater. His body felt strange, lighter, too warm. He tried to sit up and the bed responded, rising gently to support him. His reflection appeared in the shiny surface of the wall. He blinked. His skin looked different, healthier. The bruises were gone. The cut on his shoulder had vanished. Even the scar from an old mission was missing. A faint glow pulsed under his skin. "Good," a calm voice said behind him. "You're awake." Ryan turned to see Vera, the silver-skinned alien nurse. Her soft blue eyes glowed brighter when she smiled. She held a small device that floated in the air beside her, moving on its own like a pet. "How long was I out?" he asked. His throat felt dry. "3 cycles," she said. "About 2 of your Earth days." 2 days? Ryan sat up fast. "What did you do to me? My body, it feels wrong." Vera's expression didn't change. "Not wrong, repaired. Your heart was stopped when we found you. Your lungs were frozen. I had to use Orin healing to restore them." He frowned. "You mean alien technology?" She shook her head slowly. "Not just technology. Orin healing connects life with life. It is done through touch, through energy. You felt it." Ryan remembered her glowing hands, the warmth that had spread through him, the strange calm that followed. He swallowed hard. "You did something more, didn't you?" Vera looked away. "Your kind is fragile. I had to make sure your cells could survive in our atmosphere." "What does that mean?" Before she could answer, another alien entered the room. This one was taller, his silver armor shining bright. His eyes were colder. "Nurse Vera," he said sharply, "you were ordered not to interfere with the human specimen." Ryan stiffened. "Specimen?" Vera turned toward the man. "He is alive because of me. The others died in the crash. I couldn't let him die too," the man frowned. "You used the forbidden method. The council will not approve." Vera's voice softened. "Then let them disapprove." The man gave Ryan a hard look, then left the room without another word. The door sealed behind him with a hiss. Ryan's hands trembled. "What was that about?" "What forbidden method?" Vera walked closer, her voice low. "You were dying. Your human organs were too damaged. I replaced some of your cells with Orin tissue." Ryan's eyes widened. You did what?" "I changed what I had to," she said. "Your body now carries Orin energy. It was the only way to keep you alive." He stared at her in disbelief. "You turned me into one of you?" Vera looked hurt. "No, you're still human, mostly." "Mostly?" he repeated, his voice shaking. He grabbed his wrist. The faint glow under his skin pulsed like a heartbeat. "What happens to me now?" "You heal," she said softly. "You learn to control it. If you don't, your body will reject the energy and you will die." Ryan sat back, his mind spinning. He wanted to shout, to demand answers, but something in Vera's face stopped him. Her expression wasn't pride or victory, it was guilt. "Why did you do it?" he asked quietly. "You said it was forbidden." "Why risk it for me?" Vera looked down at her hands. "Because I saw something inside you when I touched your mind. A spark of something familiar. Orin healers are taught to feel life itself. And when I felt yours, it wasn't foreign. It was close, like us." He didn't know what to say. A loud tone echoed through the walls. Vera turned sharply. "They are coming," she whispered. "The High Physician will test your blood. They will see what I've done. What will they do to me?" "They will take you to the lab," she said quickly. "They will call you a mistake." Ryan tried to stand, but his legs wobbled. "Then help me get out of here." Vera hesitated. "If I help you now, they will remove me from service. I will lose everything." Ryan looked straight into her glowing eyes. "Then why save me at all?" She was silent for a long moment. Then she said softly, "Because I wanted to see if humans could survive what we could not. Maybe you are the next step." The door lights flashed red, someone was coming. Vera pressed her hand to his chest again. A rush of warmth spread through him and his vision dimmed. "What are you doing?" he gasped. "Hiding you," she whispered. "Pretend to sleep. No matter what happens, say nothing." Ryan's eyes closed against his will. The last thing he heard was Vera's soft voice saying to the others as they entered, "He is stable, but he must not wake yet." In the darkness of his half-sleep, Ryan heard faint voices speaking alien words, then one in English. "He's becoming one of us." And with those chilling words, Ryan knew, whatever Vera had done, his humanity was no longer safe. The silence inside the alien ship was heavy. It had been many hours since Ryan Cole last saw Vera. The nurse had left him alone, saying she needed to report his progress. but the look in her eyes before she left told him something was wrong. Ryan sat on the edge of the floating bed, staring at his hands. They didn't look human anymore. Faint silver lines moved under his skin like living light. His heartbeat no longer felt steady. It hummed, slow and powerful, almost mechanical. He needed answers. The door of his room had no handle, only a glowing circle. Earlier, Vera had pressed her palm on it to open it. Ryan hesitated, then copied the motion. To his shock, the door slid open with a soft hiss. He froze. Did that mean the door recognized him now? The hallway outside was quiet and cold. Blue lights ran along the floor, leading deeper into the ship. He took a careful step out. His body felt stronger, lighter, each step almost silent. Whatever Vera had done, it made him faster. Ryan moved through the corridors, following the sound of distant humming. He passed windows showing the black of space and strange stars. In the distance, the planet he had crashed on glowed like a ghost. Then he heard voices, 2 aliens speaking softly. He hid behind a tall, glowing console and listened. Vera broke the rule, one said. Human and Oran DNA cannot mix. The council will end her service, the other voice replied. Yet the human lives. Maybe she was right. Ryan's chest tightened. DNA cannot mix. So that's what she did. When the voices faded, he continued walking until he reached a door marked with strange red symbols. He placed his hand on the scanner. It opened instantly. Inside, the air was colder. The room glowed dim green. Rows of glass tanks filled the space. Each one held a figure floating in clear liquid. Ryan's stomach twisted. Inside the first tank was a human. Or something close. The man's body was thin, skin pale, eyes closed. Tubes ran into his arms and neck. The next tank held a woman, also human-looking but with faint blue veins glowing under her skin. He stepped closer to read the alien text glowing beside the tanks. Some words were translated automatically by his wrist console. Project Symbio, it said. Human-Oran compatibility trials. His breath caught. Trials. That meant experiments. He moved down the line of tanks, heart pounding faster. Most of the bodies didn't move. But when he reached the last one, the figure inside opened its eyes. They were human eyes. Terrified. Wide. Desperate. Ryan jumped back. The man inside pressed a hand to the glass. His lips moved, forming silent words. Then the tank lights flickered, and Ryan heard a faint voice through the speaker above it. Don't trust her, the voice whispered. Ryan's blood ran cold. Who? He whispered back. The man's voice shook. The nurse. She's not what she says. You're next. Before Ryan could ask more, alarms blared through the room. Red light filled the air. The tanks began to drain. The man inside looked at him one last time before his head dropped forward, lifeless. Ryan. He turned sharply. Vera stood at the doorway, her eyes wide with fear. What are you doing here? I was looking for the truth, he said, his voice hard. And I found it. He pointed at the tanks. You said you saved me. But these people, were they saved too? Vera stepped closer, her voice trembling. They were early tests. I didn't do this. I tried to stop it. Ryan shook his head. You said you healed me. You lied. You changed me. Her expression softened, full of sorrow. Yes, I changed you. But not to harm you. You're the first one who survived. You're proof that our races can live together. I never asked to be proof, Ryan shouted. The alarm kept blaring. Vera reached for him. Please, you must come with me before they find us. If the council learns you're awake, they'll end you like the others. Ryan stared at the tanks one last time. Then he followed her, though every step felt heavy with anger and confusion. They ran down the hallway until they reached a chamber filled with bright silver light. Vera placed her hand on a control pad. A small window opened, showing space outside. Stars spun slowly. Ryan looked at her, breathing hard. Tell me the truth, Vera. What am I now? Vera hesitated. Her glowing eyes dimmed. You're something new, she whispered. Not human. Not Oran. Something in between. He stepped back, shaking his head. No, I just want to go home. She looked at him sadly. If you leave now, your body will collapse. The change isn't complete. What do you mean? Vera took a slow breath. If you walk away from me, you will die before you reach your ship. You need me to survive. Ryan stared at her, torn between fear and fury. He didn't know what to believe anymore. The woman who saved him might also be the one destroying him. and deep inside, the strange pulse in his chest beat faster, like something alive was waking up. The lights in the alien ship never turned off. They only changed color, blue for calm, white for alert, and red for danger. Now the corridors glowed in a pale violet, soft and strange, as Ryan Cole sat alone in his room. He couldn't sleep anymore. His body felt too awake, too alive. Every sound echoed inside his head. The hum of the engines, the breathing of people walking outside, even the pulse of electricity through the walls. Something inside him was changing. He looked down at his hands again. The silver lines beneath his skin were brighter now, pulsing in rhythm with his heartbeat. When he pressed his fingers together, faint sparks of light appeared between them. "What's happening to me?" he whispered. The door slid open. Vera stepped in quietly, holding a small container of glowing liquid. Her eyes softened when she saw his face. "You shouldn't be awake." "I can't sleep," Ryan said. "My body feels wrong, strong but wrong." She set the container down and sat near him. "Your body is adapting. The orange cells are blending with your human ones. It takes time." "I didn't agree to this," he said coldly. "I know," she whispered. "But if I hadn't done it, you'd be dead." Ryan turned away, staring at the alien wall. "You keep saying that. But maybe death would have been better than this." Vera's voice was quiet. "You don't mean that," he laughed bitterly. "Don't I? I'm not human anymore, am I?" Vera didn't answer right away. She looked down at her glowing hands. "You are still you, Ryan, but yes, you are changing. You are becoming something neither human nor Auran." Her honesty made him pause. "What does that mean?" he asked finally. She hesitated. "It means you will have their strength, our strength. You'll heal faster, move faster, sense life around you. But your emotions? They will grow stronger too. And harder to control." Ryan frowned. "Emotions?" Vera nodded. Auran empathy is powerful. You'll begin to feel what others feel. Their fear, their anger, their pain. He felt a chill crawl down his spine. "That's already happening," he said softly. "I can hear people outside the room. I can feel their thoughts. Like whispers." Vera's eyes widened slightly. "Then the process is faster than I expected." She stood and pressed her palm to a glowing panel on the wall. A section of the floor opened, revealing a transparent cube. Inside were floating orbs of light. "These are emotion stabilizers. We use them to help new Aurans control their senses." Ryan stared at them. "You're saying I need one?" She nodded. "If you don't, your mind will fracture under too much emotion." He sighed and leaned back. "This is insane. I just wanted to explore the stars, not become one." Vera smiled faintly. "Sometimes the stars change us in ways we never expect." Before Ryan could reply, a loud alarm rang through the ship. The violet lights turned white. A metallic voice spoke in the alien tongue. Fast, urgent. Vera's expression darkened. "They found out." "Found out what?" "That you're awake and stable." Ryan stood. "Isn't that a good thing?" "No," she said, shaking her head. "To them, it means you're proof their experiment worked. They'll take you to the council's lab to study you." "I'm not a lab rat." "Then we must leave," Vera said quickly. "But before that, your transformation must finish." Ryan stared at her. "Finish? How?" Vera hesitated, then reached into the container she had brought earlier. Inside was that glowing liquid, soft blue like her eyes. "Drink this. What is it?" "It will fuse the last of your cells. Without it, you won't survive outside this ship." Ryan hesitated. Every part of him screamed not to trust her. But another part, a strange, calm voice inside, told him she was right. He took the container and drank. The liquid burned down his throat like fire and light. His vision flashed white. His muscles tightened, veins glowing like lightning under his skin. He fell to his knees, gasping. Vera knelt beside him, holding his shoulders. "Breathe, Ryan, don't fight it." He gritted his teeth, shouting in pain. Then suddenly, everything went quiet. He could hear the heartbeat of the ship, the soft hum of its engines, even the rhythm of Vera's breath. He felt alive in every sense, like every cell of his body sang in harmony with the universe. When he opened his eyes again, they glowed faintly blue. Vera looked at him with awe. "It's done," she whispered. "You are now something the universe has never seen before." Ryan stood, breathing deeply. "I feel everything," he said. "I can feel you. The fear in the air, the life around us." "Then listen closely," Vera said. "We must escape before the council arrives." He nodded slowly. flexing his hands as energy rippled through his fingers. "If they try to stop us," he said, "I'll show them exactly what their experiment created." Vera met his glowing eyes. "Be careful, Ryan. Power without control can destroy everything, even you." Ryan's gaze hardened. Then they should have left me human. And as the alarms continued to scream, he followed her into the corridor. Half man, half something greater with a destiny neither of them could yet understand. The alien ship shook with distant thunder. Alarms pulsed red through the corridors, and the walls seemed to vibrate like a living heartbeat. Ryan Cole moved beside Vera, his silver blue eyes glowing faintly in the flashing light. Every sense inside him was alive. He could smell fear in the air, hear the footsteps of guards running 2 corridors away, and even feel the pulse of the ship's power systems under his skin. "They're searching for us," he said quietly. Vera nodded, moving fast down the glowing hall. "The council knows you've completed the transformation. They'll take you to the core lab." "You can't let that happen." Ryan's voice was calm but sharp. "Then tell me how we get out." They reached a chamber filled with blue mist. Vera waved her hand across a floating panel, and a holographic map of the ship appeared. "Here," she said, pointing to a section at the far end. "Docking Bay 7. There's an old scout ship, small but fast. It can reach the outer ring before the main fleet notices." Ryan studied the glowing paths. "And how do we get through 5 security gates?" Vera hesitated, then whispered, "I can open 3. The last 2, we'll have to fight through." Ryan looked at her. "You mean I'll have to fight through?" She didn't deny it. "The Oran guards won't harm me, but they'll see you as a threat now. To them, you're a weapon that shouldn't exist." Ryan clenched his fists, feeling energy ripple through his veins. "Then I'll be their first mistake." They moved quickly, staying low as shadows passed through the hallways. Ryan could sense every heartbeat nearby, every nervous breath. It felt unnatural but also powerful, like the universe itself whispered directions to him. When they reached the first gate, Vera placed her glowing hand on the scanner. The door melted open silently. Ryan glanced at her. "That easy?" "Not always," she said. "The next one will be harder." They stepped inside a long metallic corridor lined with light veins running through the walls. Suddenly, a mechanical voice spoke in the alien language, followed by heavy steps. 2 Oran guards appeared from the corner holding energy staffs. "Vera!" one shouted. "Step away from the human." Ryan moved before he even thought. His new reflexes were lightning fast. He grabbed one guard's arm and pushed him against the wall. The staff clattered away. The other swung, but Ryan's hand shot out, stopping the weapon mid-air. Sparks of blue energy danced where he touched it. Both guards froze, staring at him in disbelief. Vera called out, "Stop! Don't kill them!" Ryan's eyes glowed brighter, but he released them. The guards fell to the ground, stunned but alive. He looked at Vera. "They would have killed me." Her voice was soft. "And you would have become what they fear most." He took a deep breath. "Let's keep moving." They passed through the next gate using Vera's override code, but when they reached the 4th gate, alarms exploded again, louder this time. Red lights turned the walls bloody. "They've sealed the docking area," Vera cried. "They're sending the hybrids." Ryan turned sharply. "The what?" Before she could answer, the corridor ahead burst open. Figures crawled out of the smoke, tall, twisted shapes that were half Oran, half human. Their eyes glowed red and their skin shimmered like metal. Vera's face turned pale. "They were my failures," she whispered. "The ones who didn't survive the merging. They kept them alive as weapons." The creatures hissed and charged. Ryan stepped forward. "Stay behind me." The first hybrid leapt. Ryan caught it mid-air and threw it against the wall with a burst of glowing force. Another swung at him, but he ducked and struck back, his palm glowing bright blue. The hit sent the creature flying. Vera watched in awe. "You're controlling the Oran energy." "Not controlling," Ryan growled, feeling it. More hybrids came, but Ryan moved faster than thought, each punch lighting up the hallway. The air filled with energy crackles and the smell of burnt metal. When the last hybrid fell, Ryan stood breathing heavily, light fading from his eyes. Vera ran to him. "Are you hurt?" He shook his head. "No, but I can feel their pain." She touched his shoulder. "Because part of them is part of you. You share their origin." Ryan stared at the fallen hybrids, guilt rising in his chest. "They were people once." "Yes," Vera said softly. "And you're the only one who lived right." They reached the final gate. Vera's hands shook as she tried the control pad. It's locked from the bridge. I can't override it. Ryan stepped forward. Then I'll do it. He placed both hands on the glowing panel. The energy in his body surged. Sparks flew, the ship's lights flickered, and the metal around the gate began to twist and melt. Vera's eyes widened. Ryan, stop! You'll overload. With a loud crack, the gate exploded open. Smoke poured out into the hallway. Ryan stumbled back, panting. We're through. Beyond the smoke, a small silver ship floated on a platform, their way out. Vera looked at him, torn between fear and pride. You shouldn't have been able to do that, she whispered. Ryan gave a tired smile. Guess I'm full of surprises. But deep inside, he knew something had changed again. Power came easily now, too easily. And for the first time, he wondered if Vera's warning was true. Maybe this new strength wasn't a gift at all, but a slow, quiet curse. The small silver ship drifted out of the massive Oran cruiser, sliding into the dark sea of stars. Behind it, alarms still echoed faintly, angry red lights flashing through the hangar as the massive doors sealed shut again. Ryan Cole sat in the pilot's seat, staring at the stars through the transparent dome of the escape craft. His hands gripped the control levers tightly, even though the ship mostly flew itself. The silence after the chaos felt strange. Beside him, Vera worked at the navigation console. Her silver-blue skin glowed faintly in the light of distant suns. She looked calm, but too calm. Her hands moved fast, almost nervously. Ryan watched her. You said this ship can reach the outer ring. Then what? We hide, she said softly. There's an abandoned research outpost on the edge of this system. The Council forgot about it years ago. Ryan nodded, though his mind was far from calm. He could still feel the hum of the energy inside him. It pulsed like a second heartbeat. It scared him and thrilled him at the same time. As they flew through the endless dark, Vera turned to look at him. You're quiet. I'm thinking, Ryan said. About everything. About what I've become. Vera sighed. I didn't want this for you. But if I hadn't done it, you would be dead, he finished. You keep saying that, her voice softened. Because it's true. Ryan looked at her. Then answer me something, Vera. Those other hybrids we fought, you said they were your failures. What happened to them? She hesitated, her eyes flickering with something like pain. They were part of the same program that saved you. But their bodies couldn't hold the merge. Their minds broke. The Council ordered me to dispose of them, but I couldn't. They locked them away instead. Ryan's voice grew sharp. And you didn't tell me? I didn't want you to fear what you were becoming, she said quietly. He looked away, the stars blurring in his vision. Maybe I should have been afraid. Hours passed. The ship glided through a field of glowing dust like drifting fireflies. It was peaceful, too peaceful. Ryan closed his eyes, trying to calm the storm inside him. Then he heard a faint beep. What's that? He asked. Vera's fingers froze on the console. A transmission. Ryan leaned forward. From who? She hesitated again. The Council ship. They're calling me. Ryan's blood ran cold. You didn't disable your link? Her eyes darted to the console, guilt flashing across her face. I thought I did. He stood up slowly. Vera, what did you send them? Her silence was louder than the alarm that started beeping. Ryan's voice turned hard. Tell me you didn't give them our location. Her lips trembled. I had to. If they think we're cooperating, they won't destroy us. You told them where we are, Ryan shouted, slamming his fist against the console. The entire ship flickered with energy from his pulse. After everything we went through, you betrayed me? Vera stepped back, her eyes full of tears. I didn't betray you. I saved you again. They were going to hunt us, Ryan. They still can. He stared at her, anger burning through him. You don't get to decide what happens to me anymore. The energy inside him surged, blue light flashing around his body. The ship's panels sparked. The lights dimmed. Vera reached out. Please stop. You're losing control. I'm done being your experiment, he growled. The ship rocked suddenly. Warning lights flared across the dashboard. Vera turned to the screen. They've locked onto us. The Council's ship is here. Ryan's anger vanished, replaced by raw survival instinct. Get us out of here. I'm trying, she shouted, pulling levers. But the silver ship shook violently as a beam of light struck its side. The stars outside blurred as the engines screamed. Ryan grabbed the controls and poured his energy into them. The ship glowed from the inside, metal turning almost transparent from the power surge. It shot forward like lightning, breaking free from the tractor beam. They flew toward a dead moon, gray and cracked. Vera shouted, "The outpost, it's there!" Ryan guided the ship down, landing hard on the dusty surface. Smoke rose from the engines. The silence that followed was thick and tense. They climbed out, the air cold and thin. The outpost stood before them, a dome half buried in sand and rock. Broken lights flickered around the entrance. Ryan turned to Vera. "We're not safe here, are we?" "No," she said softly. "But it's all we have." They stepped inside the outpost. Old machines hummed weakly, still alive after years of silence. Ryan touched a cracked wall. "What is this place?" Vera's voice was distant. It was where the first merging began. "Before me, before you." Ryan turned to her. "You've been hiding more secrets, haven't you?" Her eyes shimmered. "Only the ones I had to." He looked at her for a long time, torn between trust and fury. He wanted to hate her, but he couldn't. Somewhere deep inside, his human heart still cared. But as he looked through the broken window of the outpost, he saw lights in the sky. Bright, moving closer. "The council," he whispered. Vera nodded, her face pale. "They won't take you alive." Ryan clenched his fists, the glow returning to his hands. "Then I guess they'll have to kill something they don't understand." Outside, the night sky burned as the orange ships descended, and between love and war, trust and betrayal, one human hybrid prepared to make his final stand. The sky above the dead moon burned with falling light. Dozens of orange ships descended, their silver bodies cutting through the clouds like blades. The ground shook with thunder as Ryan, Cole, and Vera stood outside the abandoned outpost, their silhouettes glowing against the pale dust. The air was cold, but Ryan's skin shimmered with energy. Blue light ran through his veins like living fire. He could feel the orange ships long before he saw them, each one a heartbeat in his mind, each one pulsing with purpose. "They're here," he said quietly. Vera's voice trembled. "Then this is the end." Ryan turned to her, his eyes glowing brighter than ever. "No, Vera, this is where it begins." They moved inside the broken dome. Old orange symbols glowed faintly on the walls, dust-covered ancient machines that once hummed with life. In the center stood a tall glass pillar filled with faded blue light, an ancient power core. Ryan placed his hand on it. Energy rippled beneath his palm, and the lights flickered to life after decades of silence. Vera stared at him in disbelief. "You awakened it. How?" He gave a faint smile. "Maybe it remembers your people. Or maybe it remembers me." Above them, a voice echoed through the air, calm, cold, and metallic. "Ryan Cole, step outside. You are property of the Oran Council. Surrender peacefully." Ryan looked up. "They're not asking," he said. Vera's eyes filled with sorrow. "If they capture you, they'll take your body apart. They'll want to know why you lived when others didn't." He nodded. "Then they'll never get the chance." The ground trembled again as a large orange ship landed nearby. A dozen armored figures stepped out, weapons glowing. Their leader's voice boomed through a translator. "Human hybrid, stand down. You are a threat to Oran order." Ryan walked forward, every step slow and steady. "I didn't ask to be made this way," he said, his voice echoing through the valley. "But I won't be your experiment." The soldiers raised their weapons. Energy bolts charged. Vera ran to him. "Ryan, don't fight them. They'll destroy you!" He turned to her, eyes softening. "You said I was something new. Maybe this is what that means. Please," she begged. "If you fight, they'll call it war." Ryan looked back at the soldiers, his jaw tight. Then maybe it's time they saw what their war created. The air around him shimmered. The blue light in his veins flared, spreading into the ground. A wave of energy burst outward, throwing sand and debris into the air. The first shot fired, but it never reached him. It dissolved in the light. Ryan raised his hand, and a glowing wall appeared in front of him, protecting both him and Vera. The soldiers stumbled back in shock. Vera shielded her eyes from the light. "Ryan, stop. You'll burn yourself out." He gritted his teeth. "I can feel their fear. I can feel everything. I won't let them hurt you." The soldiers opened fire again, beams of white energy lighting up the sky. Ryan lifted both hands and sent out a pulse that broke the ground apart. The Oran troops were thrown back, weapons shattering. When the light faded, silence filled the air. Only the sound of Ryan's breathing remained. Vera rushed to him. "Ryan, you have to stop. Your body can't hold this much power." He fell to his knees, the glow in his eyes flickering. Maybe it's not supposed to. Vera caught him before he fell completely. Her hands glowed as she tried to heal him, but the energy inside him fought back, too wild to control. Tears rolled down her face. I can save you again. But if I do, you'll never be human. Not even a little, Ryan smiled weakly. Then save me as whatever I've become. Vera's glowing hands pressed against his chest just as she had the first day. Light spread around them, brighter and brighter until the entire moon seemed to shine. Above, the orange ships hovered silently, their weapons lowering as sensors failed to understand what they were witnessing. When the light faded, Ryan stood again. His skin no longer looked human or Auran. It shimmered between both like liquid metal under moonlight. His eyes glowed pure white. Vera looked at him in awe. You're alive, he nodded slowly. Alive and something new. She reached out, touching his face gently. Then what will you do now? Ryan looked toward the stars where Earth shimmered as a small blue dot far away. Go home, he said. If they'll still call it that. Vera smiled sadly. You'll never be fully human again. Maybe not, Ryan said softly. But humans will need to know what's coming. The universe is bigger than we thought. And maybe, not all monsters are born alien. He turned to her one last time. Come with me, she shook her head. My place is here. Someone must tell the Aurans what we did, that there's hope in what we created, not just fear. Ryan nodded slowly, emotion tight in his throat. Then this isn't goodbye. Vera's glowing eyes shimmered with tears. No, Ryan Cole, it's just the beginning. He stepped onto the damaged scout ship and looked at the stars ahead. The engines hummed to life, glowing the same blue as his veins. As the ship rose, Vera watched him disappear into the night sky. Half man, half light. A living bridge between two worlds. And when the silence returned, she whispered to the stars. He was never just a patient. He was the first of a new kind. The stars shimmered in reply as if the universe itself had finally taken a breath.